Hey guys, I'm Dmitry and welcome back to another Canucks video. Now, given our review history, we've taken a look at a lot of cases, everything from extremely space-efficient compact chassis to gigantic monstrosities. And this is the reason for why we're making this video. Now, it's certainly true that the chassis industry has moved forward with cable management and airflow, incorporating things like rubber grommets and all-black exteriors that have sort of become the standard. But there's so many other things that I think are still missing that could and should become the industry standard when it comes to chassis. So this is my top 10 list of things that I would love to see on every single case. Starting with number 10, removable and modular 5¼ drive cage. Now, it's true that optical drives are still heavily used today for data backup and media playback, but most mid-towers and full towers have at least 3 optical drive slots, which means that they might come underutilized if you only have 1 slot populated. So being able to remove the 2 underutilized slots or empty slots for perhaps an additional intake fan for the front makes sense. Number 9, rear-facing drives. We've seen this on a lot of cases from NZXT, Corsair, Cooler Master, Fractal Design. All are facing the back, especially where the cables are coming from. But why not making accessing these drives exclusively from the rear? That way you only have to remove one side panel, the rear side panel, in order to swap, remove, or access the drives. So number 8, getting rid of airflow barriers, especially for the front intake fans. Now, I see this all the time as the front intake fans are blocked off by your hard drive cage and by the frame itself. All we need is 4 contacts for the fans to be sitting on the frame and leave the middle open to allow a much improved airflow. Which brings me to number 7, is much improved design for the hard drive cage itself, as it's not very open and it blocks a lot of the airflow. We just need something innovative, something sturdy that's not too wobbly, that can house the drives but still allow a lot more airflow to penetrate into your main section of the case. Number 6, this is particularly useful for windowed cases, as please leave the acrylic side panel clean without any fan grills. Most of the time they come underutilized and they just disturb the overall look of the case, and you can't show off your sexy components and your amazing cable management job. And most of the time, whenever a fan side panel is included, there's no dust filter, which brings me to number 5, dust filters. Now, sure, you have to maintain cleanliness of your computer, but there's nothing worse than thick dust inside your case that shortens the lifespan of your components. Now, it's not a simple matter of having the dust filters, but they have to be easily accessible and removable. It really pains me to see companies cheap out on this convenience, like the Cooler Master Half XM and the stupid power supply filter underneath the power supply that is extremely inconvenient to remove, or the lack of it on Corsair Air 540. We need to see full dustproof covers from now on, at the front, the side, the bottom, and the top as well. Number 4, I would love to see case manufacturers focus on space efficiency. Now, we do have gigantic monstrosities like the Corsair 900D and Cooler Master Cosmos 2, for example, but enough of these gigantic monstrosities. We need something smaller and space efficient, like the Cooler Master N series. They're focusing on compacting everything in a very nice and compact package. So having the ability to still install enthusiast system with great airflow, but without sacrificing your entire space underneath the desk would be nice. Number 3, focus on toolless assembly with particular interests for SSDs. I still haven't seen cases that have this feature and they all require screws. It's about time that we get toolless assembly for SSDs, particularly because they're becoming so popular, becoming a lot more affordable. It's just about time, and it makes sense to have toolless SSD brackets. Number 2, modular drive cages. Now, to some degree, we've seen this sort of become the standard, but we still see a lot of cases that have regular 2-wall cages where you slide the drives in that are not removable. Now, this complements number 4 in space efficiency, as removing sort of like the middle portion of the drive cage allows you to install high-end graphics cards, longer graphics cards, and also allows you to better direct airflow towards your main components, towards your graphics cards. So it just makes sense to have that as an option in case you need to remove it, if you don't need the drives, in case you have a long graphics card in a very compact case. And coming to number 1, this is my most thing that I would love to see on every single case, and it's more of a suggestion moving forward for the whole chassis industry, is perhaps we need to see more innovation, preferably the kind that drives the prices down. Imagine $50 or $70 cases that meet the entire criteria I've just described to you guys. Now that would be one awesome killer case. So these are my top 10 things I would love to see change within the chassis industry. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Perhaps you have an idea that I have not mentioned, or perhaps has been bothering you when you're building a computer. So leave your comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.